Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Garden Mess. Today is day 2 of doing the flower bed that's in front of the white picket fence. So I'm going to continue it on. It's early in the morning, so hopefully we get some nice shady conditions and cooler temps. So anyway, thanks for joining again, and let's get to it. Well, that was good timing because the sprinklers just came on over here in the vegetable garden. And let's go over here and see, because I'm not sure if I am going to create a muddy mess or not, but it does look like there is some water. But I see that, all right, well, I already see an issue with that sprinkler. It's that area and it drips there, so that's going to hold a lot of water. So I'll have to change that. But for the most part, I think we'll be okay for planting in this area, because I'm going to be planting along the edge. So, all right, let me go get my plants. Oh, but isn't that just the cutest little flower? That is that morning glory shrub that I planted. And you'll see that the little part in the middle does not stick out as far as a real hibiscus does, but it does have something similar in the middle. But anyway, such a pretty little flower. All right, I've got my hole dug. I did it off camera because it takes some time. And I didn't want to bore everyone to death. Okay, now this is the Speedwell that I'm putting in. Sunny Border Blue Speedwell. It gets about 18 to 24 inches tall and about 12 to 18 inches wide. And it is a perennial for my area. It can get down to negative 40 degrees. So now the bottom leaves of this plant are not great looking. So I'm going to try to, hopefully it's not a sickly plant. I don't think it is. Just getting some of the roots to go straight down. Okay. Clean up some of this. I think it's slug damage is what I think it is. Because I don't see any bad bugs. What I see, I didn't notice this when I bought it. See that white stuff at the bottom right there? Those are those mealybugs, I think, or aphids. Anyway, I'm going to go spray it real quick. All right, so I had a little bit of insecticidal soap, so I sprayed it. And then I also put some diatomaceous dust on it as well. I think I'm going to go like this because these are about to bloom, break out in their little bloom. So I'm going to go that way. Oops, got that all dirty. All right, that's my blue color. So now, let me go see what else I'm going to put. I'm going to put something in front. It's going to drape over, so let me go find that. Okay, I'm going to put a draping Vinca on this edge. Now this is a Coral XDR Rose Punch. And if you can see by the shape of my container, it has been hit with the sunshine and it got some of the roots fried. You can see there's very little roots on this side, and then all around it, it's got roots everywhere. But where the sun hit it and melted the container, those roots are brown up there. All right, so, and I just added around the root ball. I'm not adding it everywhere because I'd have to pull all this mulch out and pour, which I'll do over time. I just don't want to do it right now because I want to get this project done, and I'm giving them enough soil that their roots can grow. And I got the little mycelium. I'm going to have to put these pieces underneath. That way the mycelium doesn't dry out. Get down in there. Little pieces. All right, so that should kind of spill over and fill in that little space. And I have some potato vines here that I'll end up putting in as well when I need a space filled in, because they will fill in the space. They're huge. All right, so I've got my red color. So I've got some variegation, which is my society garlic, some red colored flowers, orange, and then I have a yellow lantana. And I might put in this sickly little verbena that I have here. It's a white verbena, and I might put it right here to drape over. We'll see. But I have a yellow and white lantana, and then of course I just put that Vinca. It's a trailing variety. And then I have that Speedwell, and already the sun. Gosh, I cannot beat this sunlight. That just means we're going to have to move down there. So, but I think I'm going to go ahead and put right here some coleus. So let me move you to where you can see that better. I'm going to get the coleus. All right, so see that coleus right there? This is the coleus called New Orleans Red, and it is a sun to part sun, or sun to shade actually. It grows up to 42 inches tall. It needs about 2 feet width around it. So only one is going to go there, and it'll grow as tall as the fence. If it lives, which it should. But I have 2 of these, but I'm not going to plant them side by side just because they do need 24 inches of spacing. Now I've got to get in here and kind of just dig my little hole. I'm going to get wet because it's wet back here. It takes a little longer for me to do it because I do it pretty gently. Take my time. Be patient. All right. You can see now that we have some danglers. I like it this direction. Perfect. Now, coleus do like moisture, so that's why it's a little further back here, and it's not planted up as high from the soil, and that's because they do like moisture. So you'll notice that I had put the soil all the way up to the root ball. Looks pretty. I'm liking it. It's starting to look like a flower bed. Can't see it now because that sun's starting to sparkle in. Now this area will get pelted with sun. I watched it yesterday afternoon. This whole area, this entire row, was in sun from 12 o'clock to the sun went down. It never went back into the shade. So these definitely have to be full sun loving plants in this area. All right, I'm moving down to the opposite end. I guess I'm just going to make my way into the center. But I have these Vinca. Now these are a different color than the ones on the end. These are just a red variety. Well, I forgot to turn on my camera, but what I did was I raised the soil height and moved this mulch out of the way, and now I'm putting it back. But I had to put a lot more soil in because it was a really low lying area. And I'll have to go get some more soil and fill the rest of this area in. because see, it's low here. So it's almost like I did like a little, I built it up like a little berm, I guess you could say, with soil. So now I'm just packing the mulch around the soil to hold it in place till I can come back and fill this part in. But Vincas, they do not care to be too moist. They like having dry feet. I mean, they like moisture. They will get limpy if they don't have enough moisture, but they don't like to be watered every day. And so I built it up because the garden does get watered every day or every other day, and I don't want it affecting these and turning their leaves yellow. All right, so I've decided that I'm going to put my salvia, it might be a sage actually, let me check this again. Autumn Sage Arctic Blaze Purple. So this is a sage plant. And it's been sitting in a pot too long. So I'm going to go ahead and dig me a hole. This one gets to be 2. Is that a 2 or a 3? I don't have my reading glasses out here. It might be 3 feet wide by 2 feet high. So 3 feet wide would put it right here. So I'm good with that. This is an annual grass that I'll end up putting in here. And again, this is a water-wise plant, so it doesn't need a lot of moisture. And you can kind of see that even with me running the sprinkler, this area is not moist. It is dry, so I think it'll be great right here. So again, I will put it right here. So if I put it right there, it'll be able to do its 3 feet wide, maybe hang over just a little. People can walk by and brush it and smell the wonderful scent of the sage. But this should stay, it should live and come back every year, where this is annual, so we'll always be able to plant something else there. And if this gets too large, again, because those are annuals, it'll just shrink up the spacing, but that's perfectly fine. We're okay with that. So I'm going to go ahead and dig this hole and dig it off camera. All right, I got my hole dug, and it's the right depth. And I'm going to put my salvia in it. All right, another one down. It's looking good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, looking good. And imagine with that, with the blue purple flowers on it, it'll be so pretty, especially against that white fence. So that's it right there. You can look it up by the plant propagation number if you want to see more details on it. All right, I'm going to dig this hole, but not put it on camera. Well, I dug the hole and planted it and then put the mulch around it already. But it was a muddy mess. I had to add, that little area does hold water, so that is definitely raised up high. It is not sitting as low in the ground, but its bottom roots will get to the, will be in it by about 1 inch or 2, but then the rest of it I built up. So again, not sitting low in the ground, but this is a raised bed, so I had to build the soil up and keep the plant a little higher, but that'll fill up that entire space, and it may flop out towards the sidewalk, but I will just use like a string or something to help pull it back and tie it behind that post. So moving on to the next one, making progress, like progress. I think what I'm going to do here to fill in this space is I'm going to put this, oops, wrong one. I'm going to put this potato vine right here and help to cover in this space. All right, my next plant that I'm going to put in is a globe amaranth pink electric. You see that? Oh, the sun is starting to come out. Anyway, it's been sitting in its pot, so again, doesn't look great. It is a annual for my area. It only gets 12 to 15 inches tall, so this is about its max height, and 8 to 16 inches wide. Well, it's obviously the 16 inches wide. So I'm going to go ahead and put it right here here, let me do it like this. I'm going to put it right here, and then I'll end up putting maybe some more coleus back there. Take off some of these dead, spent parts. A lesson that I wish that I could learn better is to not buy plants unless I am already have the area prepped and ready for it, kind of like this one. I bought this plant a long time ago, but now, of course, if I had waited till right now to buy something for this area, I wouldn't have found anything, because this is August and there's nothing out there on the shelves. So I would have been out of luck. So I'm glad that I did buy this when I saw it. I just didn't have I wasn't ready for it yet. So a lot of the plants end up looking pretty rough. And I feel bad. Sometimes I lose the whole plant entirely. And I really feel bad when that happens, because boy, nobody likes to buy a plant to see it die. Now these could probably self-seed. I don't know. It's a patented plant, so probably not. It might be sterile. We'll find out, won't we? Okay, let's get this moved over here. All right, I've got the hole dug. All right, see if I can get this one in here. Well, maybe not. It's some really strong soil. There we go. All right. Oh, the globe amaranth is in. Woo! All right, it's coming along. Woo! Well, the sun is beginning to set, so I've come back out here to show you my progress. I have a little bit that I still have to do. I have this little section right here, this back section. I've got to put some things here and then put some things back here, and then I think I'll be done. I do have yellow lantana there. Let's see, yellow lantana here and yellow lantana there. And then we have some trailing vinca that'll fall over. We have some red potato vine that will fill in and fall over the edge. We have this potato vine that'll cascade over as well. This vinca should fill in this area. Orange marmalade, Chrysandra right there. There's no blooms on it, but it's larger of them. Have another one here, there, and then there. And then I have the Speedwell, and then a second Speedwell. And I have the Cana lily, which is a coral color, but it's not blooming right now. So the orange beside it should be okay. And I may even, because of course that's an annual, and that's an annual zinnia, and of course potato vines are annuals, I might put something there just to fill it in. And I might put well, I might put this. This is a Duranta. Now they can get pretty big, but they're an annual in our area, so it'll probably stay small. Now it can almost act as a trailing plant, but isn't that pretty? They're more purple colored. So I might do something with the Duranta, or I might put a blue imperial blue plumbago right there just to fill that little spot in, because it's going to take a while for this to spread, but they will spread. I have a few stands of those around my house. You almost can't get rid of them. And then I will, in the fall, so this will get moved out of here, and in the fall I'm going to bring that blackberry forward, and then I will train it to go along the fence. More than likely I'll do that. A little sneak peek, I'm trying to build a little trellis contraption here. It's not easy doing it by myself. The legs constantly are, you need a second person to help with that. So when my husband's able, I'll finish that little project. And as you see, that blackberry is pretty big. So once I get it over here and I cut the old canes and whatnot, then I'll get it to maybe train. But I think I'm going to put it right there in that corner. Get it out of the way, because once things start growing on this trellis, it'll shade that blackberry out. And I don't want that to happen, because the blackberry does need a lot of sun for fruit set. It needs quite a bit. Man, it is really growing though. There's no fruit on it. I looked. The birds got all of them. Oh, actually I see one, but it's not. It's still immature. It's done a lot more leaf growth than fruit production. But this is only its first year for me. I think I need to cut that off. I think it's ready. My husband says leave it on. I don't know. It looks ready. He says the ones in the supermarket are much bigger. And I think, well, I thought that's the supermarket stuff though. I wouldn't base my decision on that. I've never grown eggplant before. That's why I'm really need to get my bell peppers covered with some shade cloth. Or lower the amount of water. That one is putting out. Just need to do it and bite the bullet and turn this all into drip irrigation. And don't worry about all the water that's going into the street, because again, this area, the sprinkler system also works that grass area out there, and that's the reason why it's not on drip, but it needs to be on drip. I just need to be okay with the water waste, or just cap that whole area, which is kind of what I'd like to do. I'd like to just cap it. Okay, why is my tomato getting defoliated? There's no worm on it. Well, everyone, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Sorry I got a little off subject doing the little rambling about my vegetable garden, but anyway, I'm just happy to be done with this picket fence flower bed, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.